Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. Okay, you guys. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, we have some in-hand images of Studio Series 86 Deluxe WINDCHARGER and 86 Voyager THUNDERCRACKER. These come in via Toys R Us here on YouTube. Go check his channel out. He's a pretty good guy. So let's delve into these in-hand images, shall we? So first up here, let's cover WINDCHARGER. He looks cool. Obviously, it's a huge improvement over that Prime Wars trilogy figure. That figure was awful when it came out, and it's even worse 10 years later. For me personally, in my own collection, I still have the Reveal the Shield WINDCHARGER. The redesign, the flip-out guns, everything about that guy is still great till this day. So I'm still sticking with that WINDCHARGER. I don't really need this ultra cartoon accurate version. But, you know, the effect piece is cool. His gun, while it's unpainted, still looks pretty decent sculpt-wise. You know, the vehicle mode, he compares it next to the G1 figure, which is cute. Or precious, as Mgo says in videos. The vehicle mode is sleek, it's cool. That classic WINDCHARGER alt mode, it's always looked cool, you know. Anybody who says they don't like WINDCHARGER's G1 alt mode, you're smoking something. I don't know, man. So there's really nothing to complain about or say there. It's just classic WINDCHARGER vehicle mode. He has them compared next to 86 Soundwave, 86 Optimus, the Thundercracker, and he looks good. You know, he fits in line with these characters. I did do a video recently about how they do extra greebling on certain releases that shouldn't be there if you're going for cartoon or movie accuracy, but, you know, all these characters right here, they really fit in terms of the sculpting and the details, so there's really no extra greebling or anything to complain about there. He looks good in hand. You know, the articulation looks pretty solid. The transformation, I actually didn't see his video, so I don't know if how the transformation is, but from what you can see when you lift up underneath the car, it looks pretty simple, which is making me wonder why this is $30 now. You would maybe they could have added something a little extra here, like a hand joint or an extra accessory or two, because he looks fairly simple and small for a $30 deluxe, but hey, I guess that's just the times we're living in. Either you get with it or you get left behind, unfortunately. You know, I've talked about this guy in previous videos, so there's not really much else to go over here. Decent looking figure, just seems a bit overpriced to me, and I'm just going to be sticking with the Reveal the Shield figure I have. My main gripe is that, you know, for how simple and tiny this figure is and how much he costs, I don't know why there is a mushroom peg visible for his waist swivel. That just looks cheap and ugly. That looks like something you would see on a Scout class figure from 2009. Not a modern day $30 deluxe class figure. That's like my main gripe. But other than that, he's decent. You know, nothing too crazy, nothing really bad either. But now, let's get into some in-hand Thundercracker images, again from Toys R Us on YouTube. This is looking to be one of the best Voyager class releases Hasbro has done in modern times. You know, he's got him compared next to 86 Optimus, WINDCHARGER, the Earthrise Starscream, and we didn't even need to see it next to Earthrise Starscream. We already knew that this figure was gonna blow that Earthrise mold out of the water. It was trash when that Earthrise mold came out in 2020, and it's even more trash now, 5 years later, that we have the 86 Seeker mold here with Thundercracker. It is night and day. This figure looks great. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Skywarp and Starscream look on this mold with their own colors. It just makes me wish that we didn't waste 5 years of our time spending extra money, you know, our hard-earned money on the Seekers that came out during Earthrise, and then the repaints of the cone heads and whatever else. You know, that was a lot of money a lot of collectors around the world spent. I wish we just got this 5 years ago instead of basically an upscaled version of the deluxe class classics Starscream mold 15 years later at the time in 2020. That's still crazy to me. But this figure is great. I may get this, I don't know, cuz I am looking at getting a Masterpiece Thundercracker at some point down the line. So I don't know if I'm going to double dip. Voyager class starting next year is going to be about $50 after tax and shipping. So I'm very selective now, to say the least. And, to double dip in a Thundercracker when I'm already planning on getting the Masterpiece version, I don't know. Gonna have to wait and see. But going by these images, the opening cockpit is absolutely fire. The F-15 is just sleek and sick. It's that classic design that we all know and love here for the Seekers and G1. It's just a great release. My only gripe with this is I may have some other gripes as we see more with this guy and as I maybe get this guy in hand if I buy him next year, is I think TJ Omega brought this up in a recent video too. The hip skirt piece on this Thundercracker, when you articulate the legs, you move them up to do literally any pose, it seems like. You got the whole crotch lifting up with the leg. It's a problem that's been plaguing quite a few good figures over the years, and it just continues with this Thundercracker here, unfortunately. It looks really ugly. It looks like he's in happy hour during battle for whatever reason. And it's just aesthetically unappealing. It just looks super ugly. I don't know why they just don't cut an extra slit in there so it moves independently from the crotch piece, so you have the hip skirts moving only and not the crotch with it. That is just ridiculous to me. It seems like that's saved for specialty releases nowadays, like Leader Class and Commander Class, the more expensive stuff. And then Voyager Class and Deluxe Class, they get the one molded crotch piece that moves up and down with the leg. But that's my main gripe so far. The parts forming, some people have talked about. I talked about on the channel. I said I really don't mind it. It doesn't matter. And the way they handled it anyway, it looks really sleek when you look at the back of the figure. You could see why they did it, And comparing him next to 86 Optimus and the upcoming 86 Soundwave, they all look great together. Like, this is something that, G1 fans have been waiting for a long time. If you're not somebody who collects Masterpiece or third-party Masterpiece figures or the Legends scale stuff from third-party, Hasbro is scratching that itch for you. And, these look great, man. But will I get a Thundercracker? I don't know. Gonna have to wait and see on how the budget looks next year. But, yeah, guys, let me know down below. How do y'all feel about these in-hand images that Toys R Us here on YouTube gave us for Thundercracker and WINDCHARGER? Pretty solid figures. I have my complaints with WINDCHARGER. I'm sticking with the Reveal the Shield one for me personally and my own collection, my own wants and needs. But Thundercracker, he looks great outside of the crotch flap lifting up, and I just might get him next year. We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.